You know, today's been an interesting day. Almost filleted my pinky today trying to. I've been working on this Durango, um, trying to do a tune up on it, and one of the spark plugs snapped off at the, not the porcelain, but at the threads, right? And everything inside the threads came out except for the threads. So I've been trying to break it loose with a breaker bar. I've done broken. I'm trying to use an extractor to get the threads out. I've broken probably 4 12-point sockets, maybe 5 now. And then I actually went and bought tap sockets, right? So it's the extractor has a square end on it. That's why you got to use the 12 points, because the 6 points don't fit, right? So the 12-point socket is a socket that has 12 points inside of it, so you can fit it onto more socket tips. And kept breaking those. They kept spinning off. And then went and bought tap sockets, which are fit for those. And today, I literally snapped it in half. Crazy. This freaking those threads, I think they're welded onto the block, right? And I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but when I was pulling, I have a breaker bar set to it, so I was pulling on it. Well, actually I was only pulling on it with one hand, but I was pulling when the socket snapped in half. My hand flew and hit the fan cover and literally sliced like a chunk off of my thumb, or my pinky, not off, but like it lifted. And so been trying to figure out how to do life, right? Figure out how I'm gonna work out and do all my stuff that I need to do daily with my pinky all freaking filleted. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes when you work on cars, you bust knuckles all the time. You chip skin. Like, I mean, you do all kinds of crazy stuff. Smash fingers. Yeah, so it's to be expected, right? Like, trying to do man stuff happens to you, right? Like, you get hurt. So I'm not here getting my nails painted and trying to, do some sissy la la stuff. Like, I'm trying to stick this breaker bar with this extractor. I mean, I've broken extension tips off also in this particular moment. But it's whatever. I'm sure it's just welded in, and I have to find another way to get it out. It's not working my way. So it's good. You know what I mean? I ain't mad. It is what it is. It's part of, like I said, I don't have bad days, right? This didn't get me down. It didn't piss me off. It just hurt. And one of my business partners came over today, literally as I was running in the house bleeding. He was pulling up in his vehicle to come visit and talk through some things. And you know what I mean? Like, it's good. Like, still got to get stuff done, and I can't lay around and, oh, woe is me. Like, stuff still has to happen, right? And it's just kind of like work still has to happen, right? I got to get up and I got to do my job. And I don't know about you guys, but like, for me, that's one of the things that like is mandatory, right? I don't get to. There was a period in my life where, and recently, where work, because of the way I work from home, I can have as much free time as I want, right? I was taught a long time ago by my mentor Lambert. He's like, I'm not going to micromanage you. He just said, when the time comes and Sunday shows up, you better be ready to go. So, you know what I mean? Like, there would be times where I'd have a lot of downtime, and I used to sit around, watch TV, and just be this bum, right? And my wife, who works very hard daily, used to get mad. She'd just see me sitting on the couch watching football all day, every day, right? Because, football, during football season, you have Monday night, you have Thursday night, you can catch a college game on Friday, college games on Saturday, NFL on Sunday. So I was like a goat eating cheese, right? Just sitting down watching football all day long. And she had said something to me about like how it made her feel to watch me just sit down and watch TV and watch football while she worked. And from that day forward, I vowed, like, I'm never gonna make her feel that way again, right? Like, I'm gonna get work done, even if there is no work to do. I'm gonna find something. And that's kind of why I've kind of gotten myself into all these ventures, right? I do the gym, I do the church, I'm doing this podcasting YouTube thing now. Started selling Amazon pallets, and so, like, always trying to find. I started the sober living houses, right? And those guys keep me pretty busy, but always trying to find something to do, because she deserves the best version of me, right? And I keep talking about that, and I keep saying that because she does, right? Today was our anniversary, 14 years of marriage. And like a wonderful, amazing husband that I am, I was busy all day, and didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with my wife on this day, because there's a class that I teach, and things that I have to get done still, and I didn't make my wife feel very important, and so, like, and those are some of the things that I have to work through. And I told her, I said, look, we'll go to dinner on Thursday night. Well, first I said Tuesday night, and then I said, well, let's make it Thursday night. And then she's like, well, do you want to go Thursday or Friday? And I'm like, well, we're just going to do Sunday. Let's just do Sunday. And, like, I have a way with words. And so I had to call her and be like, I apologize. I didn't make you feel special today. She's like, I get it. You're busy. It's whatever. And I'm like, that's not the way this works. My wife will tell you very, very much that I make this whole marriage about her, right? Not that I lose myself in it or anything like that, but before I make any decisions or do anything, I have discussion with my wife to see where she's at, see how she's feeling, because that stuff matters, right? I truly believe in the theory, happy wife, happy life. For a long time, that's not the way I functioned. I could care less how a female in my world felt, because I didn't occupy her, and I didn't care. And today, I don't want that to be my reality. I've had a lot of dysfunctional, unhappy relationships because of my selfishness and self-centeredness. And so today, I work very hard at trying to be very attentive to my wife's feelings and her needs and kind of where she's at, because I know that she is the most important person in my world, right? Next to Jesus, my wife she's my everything, right? Like, she's the scriptures say the two become one. So she's part of my body, and I don't deny, right? Like, I don't deny her anything. Scripture tells me that I shouldn't deny her sex. I shouldn't deny her anything. Like, I give her what she wants, and she in return does the same for me, right? And so, like, part of it though is I want to be the man I'm supposed to be in her world. She always calls me her king, and I tell her Jesus is our king. I always try to remind her, like, push her that direction, like, Jesus is our king. And she's like, well, then you're my second king. And I'm like, I can live with that, right? I don't want focus to be put upon me. I want her to always remember who the one that died for her salvation is, and that was Jesus, not me. I just get the luxury of loving her here on earth. But part of the way that I love her is doing a job, right? So I take care of my work. Sometimes I do too good of a job in my work and don't really get to attend to my wife very well. And so it's one of the things that I have to work on. You know what I mean? I know I've been talking about, like, habits and stuff like that, things that need to be addressed daily. And, because if my habits don't get done, my goals will never be attained. And, taking care of my wife is one of my habits, right? It's one of the things that I don't worry about it, but I tend to it daily, right? I make sure she's good. I make sure she's safe. I always make sure she has what she needs. Like, I work very hard not to deny my wife anything. Not because I'm some punk or some wimp or some weirdo. Because typically guys who say that about me have very dysfunctional relationships. So I'm cool if that's what you want to call me, because I'll be married for my entire life to this one woman. And you'll go around jumping around, bumping different relationships because you don't know what it looks like to be a man, right? Realistically. So, but but it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna do you, and I'm gonna do me, and at the end of the day, I love taking care of my wife. So people tell me I smell married, right? That's how married I am. I smell married, and I'm good with that, right? I don't need no other woman. I don't need nothing else. Like, I'm good right where I'm at. And so, but yeah, that's just a little quick shout out for my anniversary, because she is an amazing woman. She deserves an amazing man. But that's why I work the way that I do, right? I work to take care of her. When COVID hit and we didn't know what the market was going to do, I went and got another job. I started driving for FedEx too. Like, I told my wife, don't worry, I got us, right? Like, I'll take care of her. Because at the end of the day, that's my job, right? My job is to provide and protect her. That's what my job is. Now, granted, she makes more money than me, so she does a little bit more of the providing, because my jobs just don't make that much money yet. But the hope is that one day those will all turn around and she won't have to work, right? One of my goals is to have her retired in the next 3 years. So in order to do that, I got to put my head down, put my face in the pavement, and pound it, right? And just get after it and get where I got to go. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure she's good. And my work does it. My work provides for my kids. You know, I was talking with somebody the other day, and I said, everything that I do today, as far as my work is concerned, is geared and designed to change my family tree. That's why I do this, right? I don't want, I mean, my kids are grown now, so I can't say I don't want my kids to struggle the way I did. I didn't really struggle growing up. It just, there's things that could have been better. But I don't want my kids through. I don't want my grandkids to go through what my kids went through. Because there were times where we didn't have no money with our kids, right? And we were trying to figure it out. Rob Peter to pay Paul. But I don't want my grandkids to ever not have what they need. And I don't want my great grandkids to ever not have what they need. And so everything that I do today is geared to setting up a legacy for my family going forward, right? I want generations of people who are good and comfortable. I don't want my family to be living paycheck to paycheck, especially with the way the world's going and the way the economy is and inflation and, you know, people not getting paid what they need to in order to live where they want to. Not okay. So if there's something that I can do to set my family up where that's not their situation, I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen, right? If that's the last thing that I can leave them on this earth, is to know that they're taken care of for the rest of their lives, then that's what I want to do, right? Because I believe that that's my job as a father, as a grandfather, as a husband, as a dad, all those things. Make sure that going forward, my family is good when I'm not here no more. And that's why I did these videos too, right? I told my wife I do these videos because if I die and my grandkids don't get to meet me or don't get to see me or whatever, they will always have these videos to watch, and they will always know who their grandfather was by the way he put things down and said them to them, because I want my kids to know how my brain functions, right? My grandkids. So just know that we gotta do work every day. We don't get to take no days off, right? People need to get fed. People need to get taken care of. Clothes need to get bought. Things have to happen. Yeah, okay, your job, I mean, most people can have a day off from their job. I don't get a day off. And I'm okay with that, because the more work I do, the more opportunity I have to provide for my families. And that's what I want to do. So it is what it is. Just know that God loves you, and so do I. I hope you have a great day, and God bless you.